We will begin the second half with an author who I think in the past 1 year or 2 years, give it maybe 2 years max, has found a way in almost all literary magazines that I know in Austria, which is great. I love her work, so I'm very happy that Olja Alvir joins us tonight. Olja is an author and translator based in Vienna and elsewhere. Her debut novel is called Kein Meer. She publishes personal and political essays and poetry in a number of international publications. In 2021, her poem Pomelo was awarded first prize at the wirsindlesenswert contest in Graz. Her first multilingual poetry collection, Spielfeld, Playground, was published in 2022. Her first language is Serbo-Croatian and German, and her second languages are English, French, and Russian. And tonight she will perform Identity is a Territory, a poem which was published in our Spring 22 issue, and other poems from her recent collection. So thank you, Olja, for coming here, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much for the nice introduction. I'm really grateful to be here. It's my first reading in Graz, actually, and yeah, as you said, my poem Identity is a Territory found its first home on Tint Journal, and then it was published in my first poetry collection. But today I will first start with a few shorter haikus and then move on to other parts of my book. So give me a second to find them. Okay. Haiku 1. Humans are, by far, the best long-distance runners. Where are they going? Haiku 3. Failing at drowning like real artists would. Too good of a damn swimmer. Haiku 7. Cycling with no hands. To get the hang of it, the world lacks handlebars. Haiku 9. The least a poem has to aspire to is change the world and then some. Haiku 10. The translator's work improved the text no less than by 20%. My next poem is dedicated to a translator, my good friend Masha. But I think I have to revise this dedication because I realized it's a little bit insulting. So I'm revising it and saying this is a poem to me as I see myself in her. We've had this topic today already. Like, this is not for you. This is not about you. This is about me. And it's to all the other word workers in the sweaty factories of language. Resting. You could have rested your head on grass or furs, but chose instead to rest it on books. Ever since you step with a dent in your neck, barely alive despite yourself, straining to relearn how to be horizontal. So today you try to rest your head ear to skin on your own arm, but on its underside, an electric snake twitches, an angry elbowing waveform. And tomorrow you try to turn away from syllables and computers, but your bones have fused you towards this stiff future. I ask us, how did we end up dedicating our lives to something that ties us up into so many knots, so high up, suspended in language? There is no such thing as a clean slate, but maybe one day we will be able to rest our heads on the pebbles, listening to them being shuffled by the water, our thoughts like marbles in a sunset. Identity is a territory. Identity is a territory ever striving to describe the sea, its roots in all the wrong places. On this plateau, I'm not lost though. I'm just a visitor, traveling at the speed of causality. Or a stranger, thank you, I'd like to keep it that way, driftwood on this wasted mesa. Maybe a cat that comes back after a year, carrying the what-ifs of unwanted adulthood between con and artist. I know that we can't upend the earth and hold ourselves hostage among its crevices, but I can't deny that I feel it too. Tectonic temptations, the sweet, sweet calling of forever, of things decided and done. There's no place against home. And now to finish this up, I'd like to read a new poem. So it was very hard for me to get here. I was stuck in traffic for like 2 hours. And that reminded me a lot of the feeling that this poem describes, which is trying to leave Vienna or having a complicated love-hate relationship with the city and feeling a bit trapped. So this poem is called Vienna Calling. 1. Night while you settle like a splinter, and I'm all wounds and I still linger for this ongoing auto-taxidermy. A poem about you is death's end. I cannot arrive at it by pen, and at the crossroads of skin, I see that every one of your paths triumphs over me. Your song is an overdose on ancestry, a golden 2,000-year-long parade of terminology. 2. Night while the gold seam itches, and I scratch myself off your fairgrounds, kiss your scenic curb and bleed a feeble thank you on your epic opportunities. With you, I'm always indecision. Your facade embrace is sickening. I know that you're just stalling, pressing your geographic tongue onto my longing and belonging, always knowing exactly what to say to sentence me back to you again. 3. Fool's gold grows inside me too. It has everything to do with you. You underline it, striking through any possibility of returning to the sea. Honestly, tell me, have you ever, here between bridges and rivers, seen a single going on was never an option, 'cause your throat stop of temptation is a treacherous news echo. My loneliness is golden, though, shines a concept born of cold. Now you fold your roads slyly in my direction, making everything seem a course worth setting out on. But I know your real mission. It is one of indulgent backtracking, to never get over what's past, to rummage and burrow. Sew your glamorous retro coat and drape it over, gloss choke us in your museum of meaninglessness. We are the exhibit laid out in state. Now you busy yourself again, while I peel rotten morrows. I crawl, quaver, hardened, along your avenues of past's perfect. Everything's possible after the fact, says an old man holding a torn plastic bag. Everything, a plate tectonic face, its craters and ridges bursting with sticky sweet pus. Like this city, a hypertrophy, a colossal production plant of histories, I clam up, and collect the morass. The evening gold is gaping, and the clock, coin-operated, is ticking away at the point of decay. This is not grief. This is recovery from my addiction to vulnerability. Wizened up by your rejection, I bolt stomp home theatrically. When you love something, hold on to it with your bare teeth. You call to me, cunningly. And although I know the dialectics of grip and release, I pointlessly dream of not you. And in the end, I recognize you, such prison pretty, an exercise in surrender. Is this what you want? To suffocate me where our futures constellate? Listen, this is no Gothic tale. I lack the arm range. Still your muscled memory reaches for me, you plead, elbow. If you keep the grip, will I have the let go? Thank you.